To say, get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. No gain, and it's second down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Second down, Bridgewater. He'll find Thielen working the middle, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And Catanzero's kick is right through. Back now with Charles Davis on Brandon Gaudens. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Again, it's Mixon. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Play fake. Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
A toss to Murray. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They go with Murray again. Gave a glimpse of his power, but not a whole lot of space. Down at the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Play action now. Bridgewater. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be fielded at the 17. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Throwing is Bridgewater. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is taken around the 12. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Working out of the gun, Cousins. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Telvin Smith in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And now running right through it, Latavius Murray. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They go play action here on first down. Going for the deep ball. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Now Mixon. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Saints on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. On the give, this is their fullback. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. He'll return it from the 6. It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Bridgewater now on second down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down, even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Back to the ground. This time Cook shreds the tackle. Touchdown, Vikings! A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Mixon. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, He's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he is knocked down from the side at the 29. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Saints on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. On play action, Cousins. He gets it to Thomas. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. And that'll set them back 5. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Let's go. 180. 180.
They'll run the counter with Murray. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They go back to Murray on 1st down, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it'll bring up third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Let's go.
On third down, Murray. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Broke a tackle, but not much room there ultimately. Just up past the 25 and no further. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
That good for 22 and a first down.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball, because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And to give this time to the tailback. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, New Orleans. Corey Grant, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hodges. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Carries piling up. It's Murray again. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Again, it's Murray. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A 20th carry coming up now for Murray. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 33. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a give. This is Murray. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. That was 2nd down run for Murray. They find some open field here. And he cuts one. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll be knocked down sideways. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. Fielded just inside the 20. There he goes right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Catanzaro now for the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They'll run here with Mixon. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down. And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. So that'll back them up 5. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And look at this, the punt team is out there. Somebody better give them the memo that it's 2nd down. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Well, I've never seen this one. It's 2nd down and the punt team is out there. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt.